Hey guys, welcome to the Silver Report. Here we are, it's Friday, March 31st, 2017. We have gold currently trading at $1,247.80. Silver is trading at $18.31. That's a positive gain of 0.66% for silver. Let's get right into some of the economic factors that will be playing a part into the price of precious metals, because it's really astounding these days what is going on with our reporting. And unfortunately, we feel the weight of suppression all over the place. And I just wanted to point out for all the listeners, if you guys like the channel, we have another channel. It's called Silver Report Uncut. There's going to be some things we don't discuss on this channel that'll be talked about on that channel. So if you like some of the more controversial things that we bring up, we're going to be posting them onto that channel. So check it out. I'm going to leave a link in the description. But what we're really seeing right now, because of the disparity in our news, that's really why people love this channel. Because what we're seeing, the Atlanta Fed now just downgraded their Q1 GDP forecast below 1%. Now there's headlines coming out talking about how everybody was excited about consumer spending. And how these Federal Reserve meetings that they always have, and they want to go and give speeches and talk about how they could see some interest rate rises in the very near future. And it's really quite ridiculous because the economy is not performing as well as they would like to allude to. And he also discussed how they were going to begin to liquidate their balance sheet. Now the Federal Reserve has bought up tons of Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae toxic mortgages. And they're very concerned about when they begin to liquidate their assets, the shockwaves it could send into the financial markets. So they said that they're not going to be able to do this until they begin to raise interest rates. So they're already in discussions about how they're going to begin to remove some of this massive balance sheet. Now, this is very unconventional. They've never amassed this much toxic debt before. And so releasing these bonds, it could cause shockwaves. And they're really concerned about crashing the entire system. Now, what we've seen is that after the release of the consumer spending data, because it was so disappointing, the GDP Now model forecast real GDP growth, seasonally adjusted annual rate in the first quarter of 2017 is 0.9% on March 31st. So they've dropped it. They've decreased the real GDP growth forecast below 1%, which it was at March 24th. So they had a little positive outlook that it might reach 1%. Now, I've been seeing headlines talking about we have a GDP forecast of 1.9%. They're wrong. And this catalyst, it was expected. After this morning's personal income and outlays released from the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis, the forecast for first quarter real consumer spending growth fell from 1.4% to 0.8%. So a massive drop, almost in half. So despite this talk about consumer sentiment being at all-time highs, we really must be aware of some of the news media outlets that we are listening to. These are the same people that brought you the coverage saying that Hillary Clinton was projected to win by 10 points. Remember that. So their reality is not really accurate. And so you must be very careful of the information you're listening to. Whenever you look at the real GDP forecast from the Atlanta Fed, they're typically in charge of choosing that sector. The forecast of contributions of net exports to first quarter real GDP growth increased from negative 0.49% to negative 0.16 percentage points after Tuesday's advanced economic indicators reports from the U.S. Census Bureau. So putting the move in context, the Atlanta Fed Q1 GDP, it was 3.4% projected in late January. And now it's just dropped below 1%. What we are seeing is the worst economic numbers that we've seen in a long time, since back in 2008, in the heat of the financial crisis, when the GDP just plunged through the floor. We're not looking at a healthy economy whatsoever. So beware of the information that you're taking in. That's what this channel is about, silver and gold, to protect yourself from just what has taken place, because we can't even trust these people to give us the real news anymore. All right, thank you guys for joining me here on the Silver Report. If you like the content, be sure to subscribe, like the videos, share the videos, get the word out. I thank you guys all so much for stopping by. As always, stay safe.